Hi guys, welcome back. Hope you're all doing very good. So I'm going to be playing the Norscans again today. Now you've seen this build before, but it's quite an interesting battle, so I thought I'd share it with you guys and let you see what you guys think. So I'm up against Lendon today, leading his Dark Elves, looking very nasty over here. We'll get into the battle and check out these armies a little bit. So if you've seen my previous Norscan build, I am using the same army today. So it's a front line of Marauder Berserkers. These guys are pretty elite, great at tearing through kind of mid to light infantry, and they can do some damage against some pretty elite stuff as well. In the back I've got a couple of units of Marauder Hunters. They're throwing axes to take out any large targets the opponent brings. Dark Elves can bring a lot of monsters and a lot of cavalry. For my little leadership corps, I do have a Shaman Sorcerer of Death, with Fate Juna and Spirit Leech, and the man, the myth, the legend, Wulfrik the Wanderer, with all his skulls there, right on his flaming horse. Great assassin, great duelist, especially here's the, let's see what it's called, the Hunter of Champions, which as you can see, does a massive debuff to enemy lords and heroes. So he's going to be in there trying to assassinate my enemy's lord. I do have a couple of units of Skin Wolves, the armoured ones. I'm really enjoying these guys. Their regen makes them have great durability. They're fast, armour piercing, and good anti-large. I think they're great all-round troops. Plus, just look at them. They are werewolves wearing armour. That's very cool. And I've got a couple of units of wolves, two Norscan ice wolves on the side over here, and in the back, somewhere hidden away in the trees, I do have the Beasts of Tashnar, so the Regiment Renowned version, and a couple of Marauder Horsemen with thrown axes on the side for a bit of that harass. Now, my opponent today has gone for a really elite army. So in the front he does have the Hellebroni, they're the Regiment Renowned Dread Spears. He's got Blackheart Corsairs, Regiment Renowned Witch Elves, Sisters of Singing Doom, some more Corsairs it looks like, some more Witch Elves, oh they're more Corsairs as well, and the Blades of the Blood Queen, the Executioners with their awesome way of holding their swords. It reminds me of John Wick, if you've seen that, where he holds the gun really close and slightly tilted. They kind of do the same with their swords, so these guys are quite scary. They'll be able to tear through a lot of my build. And in the back here, he does have the very scary Regiment Renowned War Hydra, Chill of Sontar, with all these angry snake-like heads. Does have Frost Breath, Frostbite, causes terror, regeneration, all that nasty stuff. For our leader today, my opponent does have Crone Hellebron up here on her Blood Cauldron, looking very scary. Now, I don't have the Dark Elf DLC with all these bonus troops, so I haven't actually faced a lot of this stuff before. So it'll be interesting to see how my army fares. Let's get this underway. Now, as you can see, I am being forced into the water here, which is a fight I really do not want. So I decided, well, actually, I don't see any range, components of my opponent's army, so I just pull back. I'm going to force my opponent to cross the river and make my stand here. However, my opponent in the back did have some super sneaky Dark Elf Riders with repeater crossbows lurking in the trees. They were right in the corner, and I did not spot these guys. So I'm getting a little bit of poke here onto their Hellebroni. They do have shields, however, I did hit a few volleys into the back, and I'm forced him to stand here while the rest of his army advances. So as he does turn to catch up, and we're getting some good damage into the back there. Now, I flanked the hounds round, trying to look for a target. I was a bit scared he had left something hidden back in the trees here, so I'm getting the wolves just to check that out. And an ambush on the side here. My armoured skin wolves do get caught out a little bit, but they are armoured and they regen, so it's not too bad. As long as they don't take any model losses, I'm going to be sending them into the front fight, just to try and get away from these Dark Riders while I pull back my hounds. As you can see, the first fight is about to get underway. Some of the actors are going into the Hydra, and these very, very brave skin wolves are popping in. My opponent does drop a little buff here, the Gaze of Pain, which is a very cool effect. There's all the blood popping up anywhere, and the fight does begin. Hellebroni is crashing to the front on this side. Wulfrik's just sitting back at the moment as I'm trying to, manage the rest of my army, or choosing where to send him, and he is going to be going after the Crone Hellebron herself. The Hellebroni over here are being picked apart. They're looking pretty ragged now, and they're trying to cross back across the river to get this horseman, but of course, I'm just going to skirmish away. Now, things are looking pretty bleak on the front line. My army is starting to panic and starting to rout. These Dark Riders are shooting them into the back, and they're just against such elite troops, I'm really struggling in the main fight. We bring in some hounds back here, try and collapse on their back, but it's a bit too little too late. And these Ice Wolves are going to come in just to try and scare off these Dark Riders. I'm not sure if I can catch them, I just need to keep them away as they're causing a lot of problems. And even over here, most of my front line is breaking. However, one thing is going very good for me, Wulfrik the Wanderer here, dropping the Sword of Torgald here, plus 75% weapon damage is huge, and he is just tearing Crone Hellebron. Completely shreds that. She is breaking there, very low health. I'm not going to let her escape, where I have these Marauder Horsemen in the back. My opponent does respond by sending in this big War Hydra here, And he's starting to, you know, terrify Wulfrik a little bit here, who is just on his horse. He's trying his best. My whole army is routing. It's looking very bleak. I've lost the front line fight here. However, I've managed to trade, you know, quite effectively in one way and take out the enemy leadership. However, mine is now a little bit stuck. But the Norskins, they don't have the best leadership, so sometimes they break, but still have healthy units. So once they rally, I do have 2 units of, you know, half health Marauder Hunters here, and half health Marauder Hunters here as well. So these guys will be able to come back, try and do some of that anti-large damage against that big Hydra. I am pulling the cab in as I'm trying to rescue Wulfrik here, who is so close to breaking. He's trying to waddle through again, pinned in. He throws that witch up the side and tries to run away. My opponent, however, is really trying to assassinate them. Now on the flanks, my wolves are actually doing a pretty good job. As soon as they catch the Dark Riders with their frostbite, they manage to bite them, slow them down. I'm doing some serious damage. So I've kept them away from the fight for the most part, apart from this one unit here. And the skin wolves are staying out of the fight as long as possible, just regenerating some of that health. Wulfrik is really struggling here, but my opponent did bunch up. So he drops his little ship, drives itself through my opponent's units and really does some great damage. This whole time as well, the Marauder Horsemen are chucking axes in, doing a bit of damage, and damaging their leadership quite badly. They are being attacked, you know, from all angles. I send in the Skin Wolves with their fear to do some serious damage to the frontline troops here. Without their leader, they are starting to buckle and break, which is very good because I do need to bring down this War Hydra pretty desperately. Somehow Wulfrik has survived, the wolves are rallying to their king, and managing to, you know, break him out of this big massive infantry troops and scare them off quite nicely. The Hydra standing alone here, not going to have the best leadership once their leader's dead. The constant throwing axes and the attacking from all sides is going to start to break and run. So even the elite troops, you know, once their leader's dead, you surround them, they will eventually break. The Hounds are doing a pretty good job, just taking the missile fire, and they will be reacting there soon and just trying, you know, chase them down and hunt them down as quickly as possible. You see they're running away into the distance with that. Most of my opponent's army is gone, and with that, my opponent does surrender. So well fought to my opponent. Let's go see the end stats, guys. So this was a very interesting game for me in particular, because after the first, you know, 2 or 3 minutes after that initial frontline engagement, I really thought I'd lost the game. My front line crumbled and started to break. You know, my opponent, Lendon here, did bring a very elite build. Quite liking the Dark Riders from behind as well. However, the Hounds managed to kind of neuter them quite successfully. But, you know, with these big, you know, blades of the Blood Queen, the Hydra, and the Witch Elves, they tore through my front line super quick, which is really worrying. But I didn't panic too much. I just knew my troops would come back if I can hold the opponent away from them. Wulfrik got in there, did his job, did what he did best, and assassinated the enemy leader. And with that, some of my units managed to rally behind him and push back, and with the constant harass of the Marauders and all the throwing axes coming in, dealing damage from behind, I managed to break my opponent's army. So I think it was a great comeback. It was actually a really fun game. I'm enjoying the Norskins quite a lot. I'm trying to experiment a bit more with their build. You've seen this one before. But they're quite fun. I think they're well rounded. I don't think they're top tier. However, they have some really kind of fun matchups. I like taking them against Empire. I think that's quite an even build. So well fought to Lendon there. Fought a lot of honour. Fought to the death there. Hope to, you know, play you again. Now, as I said before, this Norscan build, it takes a little bit of finesse, just because Wulfrik's a little bit squishy, but I think it's quite good for new players. Any new players still watching this, I think, you know, it's a great idea to try out Norsca. They're really good fun. So hope you enjoy this, guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace, peace.